So hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm Olaf Kozolowski from Triple T, and today we're going to be reviewing the semi-final match of the World Championships between Liang Jingkun and Hugo Calderano. As of right now, it is Saturday evening, so this match or this video probably will be coming out a little bit after the final, or the results of the final between Wang Shuqin and Calderano. But as of right now, I just want to review this thriller of a semi-final that we had. Anyway, it was such a close match with a lot of intensity, a lot of pressure, and even watching the end of the match from afar, I was sitting on the train, you could feel the nerves and tension building up, which is obviously something you like a lot about the World Championships. But now let's see what Calderano did in order to secure the match and to be on such a hot streak right now, because he hasn't lost since the World Cup, which for people who watch this video further down the line, he won the World Cup and then afterwards right now he's in the final of the World Championships. So he really has a valid chance to become world champion. Will he? I don't know. You probably will have by now because this video came out later. But let's just jump into the video.
He fought for his country so hard in doubles and in singles.
So always very noticeable when you see Calderano play is how much he stays on the second position, like maybe half a meter or even a meter further than his opponent. And usually against Chinese players who are so strong in the open game, that is not a success formula. Physically, he's one of the most in shape, if not the most in shape players on the tour. And he has just so much power, which allows him to be able to play that game. You see again here, being so comfortable, especially with the backhand, which usually when you're sending this far, it's not easy for people to be comfortable with, but he is. Now what I also noticed in the entire tournament, when he's playing short, I mean, it's not even short, he doesn't try to keep the ball short, he doesn't try to play short or keep the ball over the table. I think he wants to lure his opponents out with these sort of half short flicks. Maybe he's hoping that the opponent is moving back and that he sort of feints the ball to open by playing a flick, and then he gets a short ball and so the other person has to run back. But I think it's mainly that he wants to play a half long ball in the forehand, which with that side spin on this short push, so to say, that he does, for a right-hander it is quite awkward to do anything decent with that ball, especially if you're not on time. That is one of the two options that he does a lot when I'm talking about a passive situation, because sometimes he comes in with a banana flick, of course. He always covers the table with his backhand quite well, but he either does that in the short half-long forehand, let's say, or he pushes long, surprisingly, which I think he improved a lot in, more aggressively. Like he really puts his opponent under pressure with those long pushes that causes them to, a lot of times, even miss the ball directly, and if they put it on table, give Calderano a good shot to counterspin on. And here once again, far from the table, finds a good chance to change to the forehand. He's changing the placement slightly, but not as much as other people do, meaning that he doesn't really go for the middle a lot. I think he likes to set up the corners with the ball to the middle, you know, the other way around. So maybe he likes to play a ball in the middle and then go to the backhand or go to the forehand. While I was saying this, I missed a very big rally here.
Game points here, but for the first time they're consecutive.
Right, yeah. He feels very comfortable in his backhand situation. Okay, of course this was a reflex shot after that first ball opening by Liang Jingkun, but in general I think he reverts a lot to this backhand to backhand diagonal, where he is quite strong, at least at the moment he is. See, here one more time. You see also how explosive he is in his stepping around. You see on that first ball here, where he one more time went to the backhand. I mean, it's a bit too much in the racket if you ask me, for a high ball on which you can finish the point. Here, that's what I meant with this long push that he sometimes does. And here one more time, a ball to the middle, and then he goes to the corner. So I think that's what Calderano really likes to do very often, using the corners, or the very wide corners, to finish the point with, or to try to finish the point with at least. You see that occur a lot in his matches.
Straight away. Another outstanding piece of decision making.
And I think you hit the
See,
nail right
you see
on.
how
This is
Liang
what
Jingkun,
we're
when we
able to
replay it
see.
here, you see how he wanted to go for the half-long ball first? I mean, normally it's a bad reflex, you see, but the racket went below the table first, and then he was caught by surprise, and he had no option but to push long again. But I think that's because Calderano's basic strategy is those half-long balls in the forehand. Yeah, and clever also to go back to the backhand here. So on this ball not yet, but here that goes back to the backhand side. That's where you need to be when you go far from the table. You need to go and find the backhand of your opponent when you're playing topspin, topspin. Ola. Ola.
No, 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 no. Oh, Calderano.
I still can't get over this idea of a double-handed backhand, you know? Because it's not just a gimmick shot, he does it really in tight situations as well. Half-long ball again.
And right now the crowd is just starting to get a little bit uneasy, a little bit frantic, but it's worth reminding. Oh, here we go.
Oh. I think Calderano really is the only non-Chinese player who can challenge the Chinese players behind the table, you know, far from the table. Because he has so much power, he can really go toe-to-toe with them in the topspin rallies, which even guys like Moregard, Harimoto, Lee Yunju, they aren't really capable of it. Maybe the Lebrun brothers, especially Alexei. I'm watching the highlights right now, so I'm not able to see a lot of the patterns which usually occur in a match because I'm not watching every point in a row. I can't say much about it, you know. A lot of backspin serves, that's something which stands out, but apart from that, not much really, which I can point out. One more time. You see how he really rarely goes to the middle of his opponents, or he doesn't pressure them in the middle. Good catch. Good to come back to the table as well. That was smart. That was a good decision because you see how far back he had to step around Liang Jingkun. That was a good moment to go forward again. But now here. I don't think it's that bad to let Calderano start sometimes. Because the way he counterspins it, especially on those short balls, you know, see that one is so tough to recover. Sometimes just push long if you can, I would say.
What happened in 2021?
On a different level right now.
Here one more time, you know. Even though Liang Jingkun tried to go to the middle, not just play completely in the racket, he is good in adapting it in those situations. And a good serve as well. See one more time. Liang Jingkun wanted to step in, try to receive the serve with his backhand. Then was caught by surprise when the serve came short in the backhand. So that he was forced to push, and then Calderano came over the table because he knew that Liang Jingkun wasn't able to do so much with that ball because of him being caught by surprise, that's why.
What a reach.
Okay. My god. Stop putting back short, just yeah. No. Wait, even the coach is being like this? I don't think, honestly, I'm not too familiar, of course, because I never worked there, I never played for the Chinese national team, but I don't think they're too happy to see a coach being like this, you know, especially on such a high stake match. Good serve, a little bit half long, which made it more difficult for Liang Jingkun to come in with a banana flick. And now just everything is working, you know, it's so demotivating when somebody's on a roll like that and they know when to step around, they know when just to stay on their corner. See, 0 out of the last 8 points that were won by Liang Jingkun. It was 3-0 for him. Now it's 3-9. But not finished. See. First ball to the middle. Liang Jingkun had to recover, and then he goes to the corners. Something which is very recurring in his matches. I think that serve went out a little bit, so I don't think he should have received short on that one, or tried to. That was a bit too eager. You don't really hear it from this video alone, but the sound of that arena.
Another save. Surely not.
The pressure you have to feel, I can't imagine. See, and those little tiny unforced errors that you start making, you kick yourself even more because of, you know, see, mistakes that weren't really forced that much. I mean, it's a smart push by Liang Jingkun. It's a smart push, I'm not saying that, but it's not a shot that you're going to miss in any situation. But now match point. So after losing 6 opportunities to go to the final, see, this is what he comes up with. This counter spin is unbelievable. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow, to who will win between Wang Chuqin and Calderano, because he beat him in the World Cup. I don't know how, it was 4-3, 12-10, was it not? Anyway, because Calderano is really playing that well this tournament. Beating Aruna Quadri, the set scores were 11-4, 11-4, 11-4, 11-6. You know, not even an average of 5 points per set for Aruna, who was playing very well up until that point. And then also he beats with An Jae-yoon. Yeah, he beat An Jae-yoon. See, he's playing really well. But yeah, just to recap this match, you see how often just in those tiny little serve receive games he reverts back to 2 or 3 options, which always seem to work for him, which just gives him some stability. You know, the half long to the forehand, or sometimes a surprising long push to the backhand. I think especially against Liang Jingkun, I think he is somebody who builds up the rally a bit more than other Chinese national team players. So letting him take the initiative might be a good idea against him. Against Wang Chuqin, not necessarily. Also, he's a left-handed player, so that also changes the situation entirely. And apart from that, yeah, you see how often in the rallies that when he accelerates, he does so in the corners, not so much in the middle of Liang Jingkun, but in the corners, and that was effective. So for I don't know how many times, and sometimes even when standing far away from the table, a zone which he's comfortable in, which is not so easy to do. But anyways, I'm going to try to get this video out on time, maybe not before the final, but I still hope you got something from it. It's been a long time since we've reviewed a few matches, or since I put out the video anyway. So hopefully you got something from it. Let me know what you thought about the video and what you thought of the match. And hopefully I will see you in the next video. And that time, hopefully my eyes will not be blocked completely by my ring light.